Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome all of you back to another Rage video, where tonight, ladies and gentlemen, it is for closing in towards the end of our International Women's Day special. I decided it would be kind of good in a very roundabout sort of way that after a very long time, we would return to Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish. I think that's how it's pronounced. Now, the first video that I ever talked about Billie Eilish, it was striking, kind of upsetting, but also just it also sets in mind another very strange scene towards, in the music industry that I'm surprised that we're covering so much of throughout today. Is that so far in our International Women's Day celebrations, we've covered women in the industry who underwent classical training. We have talked about women who had slightly rocky relationships, but also talk about the benefits of being free. We also talk about the monstrous ways in which we struggle to come to terms with demons, and we have to place heavy emphasis that we acquire the attributes of things like wolves and pigs, for example. And then we even come across whose origins were almost a little bit too unknown, about covering songs that seem to have almost been directly inspired by slightly underrated Disney films. If you've ever seen Brave, ladies and gentlemen, you'll probably get the picture. And surprisingly, we're actually sort of like going to go almost to the very beginning. And they call this a vertical video for some reason. So that's going to be a little bit cool to see. So if you guys want to check out the original video for yourselves, links will all be in the description down below. Also, apparently, there was this entire video was meant to be inspired by a scene in the British TV show Sherlock, with Benedict Cumberbatch. I've never seen Sherlock, so I couldn't tell you if this was what the references are meant to be. But I'll be cool. Let's be cool about it. So now, anyway, actually, just before we get into it, I'll just go over the point I was trying to say. We also cover sort of like a little bit the introvert as well in Billie Eilish, somebody who just sort of came into the industry, wrote about her own personal life, just like someone like maybe Taylor Swift, for example. But Billie seems like so just in her own little world, her own little element about some things. So it's going to see exactly how we can do here. So let's begin. You should see me in a crowd. In 3, 2, 1, and... Ooh, like a blade on glass.
Bite my tongue, wearing a warning sign. Wait till the world is mine. Visions I've vandalized, cold in my kingdom size. Fell for these ocean eyes. You should see me in a crowd. I'm gonna run, there's nothing to help. Watch me make them bow one by one. You should see me in a crowd. Your silence is my favorite sound. Watch me make them bow one by one. Count my cards, watch them fall.
Okay, excuse me for one moment, ladies and gentlemen, but this is like getting like really, really creepy and like really, because I think I know exactly what it's meant to be. It's like almost, it's like something out of like maybe a diary extract. She is promising to herself that the world will one day be ours, and she even like it's like she almost like speaks to the journal as the diary as like a friend, and you should see me in a crowd. It's something that seems to suggest that Billie's goals of world domination and nothing would become even more reverent than if you saw her wearing a symbol of power and authority, such as a crown. And what is wrong with, wow, just like, God, man.
Like the way they scream. Tell me which one is worse, living or dying first, sleeping inside a hearse. I don't dream. You say, come over, baby, I think you're pretty. I'm okay, I'm not your baby, if you think I'm pretty. You should see me in the crowd, I'm gonna run, there's nothing to out. Watch me one by, you should see me in the crowd. Your silence is my favorite sound. Watch me make them bow one by one. Crowd, I'm gonna run, there's nothing to help. Watch me make them bow one by one. You should see me in the crowd. Your silence is my favorite sound. Watch me make them bow one by one.
Okay, maybe that's enough Billie Eilish for maybe one day. I can honestly... Okay, first, let me I just want to get this out of the way just before people thinking, because if you think I've got a problem with this. No, first of all, no, I do not have arachnophobia. I am absolutely not afraid of spiders. Chiefly because I know those were not real spiders. Listen, I've worked with that sort of technology where you can make like spiders and stuff like appear like that coming out of people's mouths. I know what to do in that sort of situation. But oh my God. What is it? Billie Eilish again is so straight. Because it's nothing really I've ever heard like proclaimed in like pop music before. She goes into this with such a turbulent level of introvertedness, and it's not so much like it's like an antisocial sort of thing, but it is literally, like I said, it's nothing I've never seen anything portrayed like this in like pop music before. It's not really, it's almost like anti-pop music. It's not really the sort of thing I would imagine would get popular because it was like really catchy or it was really like, you know, memorable or had like a feel-good vibe to it. I think this might just be the sort of thing that absolutely would have worked for Miss Eilish. Is that it's just more sort of like designed to almost like reflect her. It is almost her manifestation of the world put on display. I'm still, again, even when like it all began, and she was talking. I said it sounded like she was writing in a diary, as though like a lot of her songs, including like When the Party's Over, they sound like they were written for somebody else. Like they were designed for somebody else's eyes and ears. And then, what is it about all this? I think my reasoning, ladies and gentlemen, to get to sort of like conclude this in the right way is that it's awesome because I just don't ever, you know, you don't really expect this sort of thing. Secondly, it's fantastic because being this unique, being this different will always pay off, and it will always work, because if there's nobody else there who's doing this sort of thing, who is being this like dour and a little bit, you know, a little bit moody, if I want to say, I'm pretty sure there are better ways of putting it than that. You get something that is solely her own, and she even just from her pose, the way she dresses, it looks like the sort of person who is sort of like very apathetic to the idea of becoming famous, or the idea that, you know, that there was, you know, that she would have like a following as big as she does. And maybe she is the most apathetic pop singer I've ever seen in my life. But I think it's just an act. And, well, I think the way she stands, she's more acting, I'd say. But hearing her sing and all the rest of it, it's like, has she always, is this the real her? It's sort of just done without any mercy. It's so scary, because it is I don't have a reason to disbelieve that this is who she is. So anyway, I hope all of you guys have enjoyed this reaction video to You Should See Me in a Crown by Billie Eilish. Please make sure to leave all your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below, and let me know what you guys felt of You Should See Me in a Crown for yourselves. And I cannot wait to see all of you guys again in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye for now.